Hope you guys are ready for another episode of Double D's in your face. That's right.
And here we are, folks, for that special segment that is simply known as Double D's in Your Face, where we answer questions that have come in from inquiring minds, fans of the show, or may not even be fans of the show, just people that simply hate us and simply want to ask us questions anyway.
Yes, but they're too dumb to live without our knowledge, so they need it. Yes.
There you go.
This is from just AGM. Says, what advice would you give a fighter coming off their first loss from getting knocked out?
Suck it up, sweetheart.
Well, I'd go back to say, definitely study that the film that you get to see how was it set up? Because other people are going to simply study that same film. That's the one thing about the world that we live in nowadays. You've got all these previous matches you can pull up and you can study extensively your opponent and to see what kind of cheek that they have in their armor. So again, I'd say study your losses, but you should study them. A lot of athletes, they can't see the flaws because they're just looking at what they're doing, and sometimes you have to have a second person there with them to simply say, okay, we gotta learn to move this direction. It's a moving target is much harder to hit than a standing still target. So I mean, there's a lot to be learned from the watching a film and to know that whoever your next opponent is, have a good, well thought out game plan, adhere to it to the best your capabilities, but then also have, well, if this is not working, you better have option B and C as well, because if you have all your eggs in option one, and option one is going down the tubes, you better be able to shift up to something else. And some athletes can't do that. They need that. That's why they need that coach in the corner to simply say, the coach has seen it. Listen to your coaches too. That's huge.
All right. This is from Mighty Max. Did either of you have a pre-fight routine that got you ready for your matches?
Yeah, I'd put on my jock strap, then my shorts, and,
Backwards, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But why did they fit better?
Because I have so much overhang.
Well played there, Mr. Frye. Well played there. Okay, but I think every fighter has, or every competitor. I mean, we're just talking about the sport of MMA. I remember even back in my football days, there were certain rituals I would even do during my football days and my amateur wrestling days. There were certain things that were just part of your ritual before walking out to the mat. And that I actually do believe that people are creatures of habits in the first place. But don't be such a creature of habits that you telegraph that you're, everybody knows what you're about to do out there. On that mat or inside that cage.
Or you're looking for some kind of aspect of luck, because you put your left leg in first, as opposed to your right leg, and you happen to win that match, so you're going to repeat that.
Well, I thought you was getting ready to go into put your left leg in, put your left leg
No singing. No singing.
Your left leg
Dan,
in,
no singing.
Shake
Stop it, Dan.
Okay.
Don can't refuse the hokey pokey.
He was being so mean to me over here, Jeez.
All right, this is from Dave's Not Here.
Dave's not here.
It says, nothing like a cup of coffee and toxic masculinity in the morning. Love the show, guys. Keep it up. I was watching the episode with Boss Rutan, and he told the guys in the back that he made a submission hold, and he was going to use it in his fight. He proceeded to go out there and make his opponent tap out with his move. Have either of you ever made up a move or a hold and used it in a fight?
Dave's not here.
Well, I mean, I'm simply going to say yes. I mean, because again, in the beginning of the no holds barred element, I mean, there was so much that was so raw, and my stuff was all about grappling, and I simply just when I would finally get to that clinch position or get those takedowns, or I basically the principles of amateur wrestling are fulcrums and levers. And I always looked at the human body. I didn't look at it as the human body. I simply looked at it as where are my fulcrums, where are my levers, and how can I apply as much pressure as possible. Because the sport of wrestling, leverage, another word for leverage is called pain. It's legalized pain which you're utilizing in a sport of wrestling to roll a person that's on their belly onto their back. Well, in MMA, you could care less. You can still be on your back. But to me, again, it's still principles of leverage, of how to contort an arm in a direction it's not supposed to go, contort a neck in a direction it's not supposed to go, contort a leg in a position it's not supposed to go towards, like, again, same principles, just in reverse osmosis. How'd you like that? Little linguistic thing there.
Very big word, yeah.
That'll get you
Lots of syllables.
triple points at a game of Scrabble.
I win.
Don Frye, action figure.
Could be yours.
What about you, Don? Ever came up with the Predator's punch or anything?
No, probably not. I don't know. Hell, like you said, a lot of it was making it up as you went along.
He had boxy when he walked out there. He had swagger,
That's it, had the mustache.
Yes. I'm trying to think what was the most comical comment that a fan made, that because there was Don Frye. He stayed out front getting ready for his match. I'm in his corner. The way that they're describing, Don Frye and me in his corner with the mustache. I think the guy said 10,000 women became pregnant from just the description of this match. Right? The match hadn't even started. I mean, it's the most comical, and I don't remember put that together. It'd be cool to kind of find that again, but it was so funny. Because it was just oozing of
I think it was Josh Barnett.
There you go. It was Josh Barnett that came up with that. It was pretty comical.
All right, this is from Kingston. It says, everybody knows how Dan helped Don get into the MMA. Mm-hmm. Is there anybody else that either of you mentored or helped train? If so, can you please tell who and what you did for them?
Not successfully, no.
I helped Rashad Evans.
Oh, yeah.
Rashad Evans was a wrestler at Michigan State University and came down to my place out of Coldwater and started training MMA. And even though Rashad was not a heavyweight, I was able to get him into a heavyweight 8-man tournament bracket. I think this was out in California. Again, I'm just going by because of the question right now that was asked. In his first match, he won his match, but he ended up getting a cut on the eyebrow, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's too bad. He was doing so well." And I'm like, "Who said he's out?" But he goes, "He's got a cut." I go, "He'll be back." I mean, I just took it back, cleaned the cut, super glued it shut, and he went back out there and won the tournament. And so when they're like, looking at me like, "Well, how did I do it?" And I go, "Haven't you guys ever watched The Karate Kid?" Mr. Miyagi.
That's awesome.
No, again,
That's a
a lot of people don't know that story.
No, I didn't know that.
About Rashad. I mean, he was actually, like I said, a real sharp young man, and I enjoyed having him down to my training camp.
That's awesome. We got to get him on the show.
I think we should.
All right, this is another one from Kingston. This is what about you? You said not successfully, Don. That was your answer to the question. Okay. What would you say your greatest achievement was during your careers?
Siring two beautiful little girls.
That was during your fight career?
Yep.
It's a great answer.
Yeah, that was. I can't top that answer. I mean,
You can't.
I have to. I mean, I would have to. You know,
Hit the
lost.
bricks. Go kick rocks,
I know.
kid. You're out of here. All right, let's go. It's fucking.
Here, one more.
Oh my God! All right, last one.
This is from someone named Dan.
Oh, it's gotta be a fucking brilliant one then.
I hope so. And I hope not. I hope you're sitting over there going.
Is it in crayon?
If either of you could go back in the past and give yourself advice, what would it be?
Get a prenup. Better yet, just get the fuck away from it.
Oh my gosh.
Walk away, run.
I'm Don Frye. You know, if we had that capability of going back in time, whatever we were to do or say would change the outcome to where we are at today. And we may not be doing this podcast. We may not be answering these questions right now. As I always tell people, you can't turn back the clock of time. You have to live with the decisions that you made. I always tell people that, okay, because the questions came up here before or earlier in this list of questions right there. You know, they said they saw me in UFC 4 and then they saw me in UFC 5. If I would have debuted my abilities of UFC 5 at UFC 4, would there have ever been a UFC that would still be here? If I would have went out there and turned a little gi-wearing jiu-jitsu practitioner into a pile of kindling wood,
Yeah.
would there still be a UFC? And that's one of the things that I mean. I like Art Davie in the equation. Art Davie was a businessman with this idea. It was all his concept, and he had heard of this Gracie challenge. He had heard of Jorge Gracie, and he brought on Jorge Gracie to be the matchmaker. Now, from a farm boy analogy, you never let the fox into the hen house, because are they all going to be legitimate matches at that point in time? And each time that Hoist would win, it was not Hoist Gracie won, it was Gracie Jiu-Jitsu beats Taekwondo. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu beats Karate. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu beats this, that, just so that they made more off of their franchises. And was there any sharing of that wealth from the Gracies back to an Art Davie, who gave him this platform to market? I shall leave you all. Inquiring minds want to know that last ponderous type of thought. This Dan Severn and Don the Predator Frye signing off.
Thank you for watching another episode of
Double D's in your face.
You better like, subscribe, and share, or I'm going to come to your house.